today's Daily Ding Dong, they've long been the bugbear of motorists, but should cyclists stay off the road? Should they? Yes! Oh, we'll be back later to say controversy. Now, for today's Ding Dong, we're delving into the dangerous territory of drivers versus cyclists. Oh, gosh. Christopher Biggins reckons pedal bikes, cycles should be banned outright from our roads, but cycling journalist Carlton Reid says they have as much right to be there as motorists. So whose argument will ring your bell? Who has the greater right to the tarmac? Gentlemen, let battle commence. Biggins. Why can't they be on the road?
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Well, I tell you what happened to me this morning. I went to my doctor's in Hackney to have a flu jab. I parked the car, paid for the parking, walked to the surgery, stepped on the pavement, and a bicycle came right past me, knocking me over.
On the pavement?
On the pavement. Now, why is a bicycle on the pavement? Now, I've had to get up early, and I've been in the rush hour, and I've been in the rush hour late at day. There are sort of like 5 or 6 abreast cyclists.
A phalanx.
Oh, I love that word, a phalanx of cyclists. And, you know, you didn't know where to go. And then you stop at the traffic lights, but they don't. They go straight through.
Carlton. They do sometimes, don't they?
They do sometimes, but did you know that there's actually induction loops under some traffic lights, which means they don't actually work for bicycles? That's number one. Number two is lots of motorists go through red lights, but we don't actually notice that motorists go through red lights.
But they do. Cyclists are not always the most considerate to motorists. And bearing in mind that most of them will be motorists as well.
Absolutely.
When they get on the bike...
Most cyclists are actually... There's more... The population of... out there, there's more cyclists who are drivers than our normal population being drivers. So cyclists are actually drivers too.
But why must they go 2 abreast instead of being single file?
Because that's in the highway code, you're allowed to. So it's perfectly legal to do so.
I blame the lycra. I really do, because I think once they get that lycra on, they think they're some sort of superhuman being. And they're on that bike, and the bike is the only thing that's important to them. They go anywhere. They go up buildings, down buildings, across pavements, across roads. They don't care about us poor motorists who are sitting in the car doing nothing but watching these idiots.
I didn't ride here today in lycra. I just rode in ordinary clothes. And the thing is, I got across London far quicker than the car that would have been provided for me got across London, because cycling is just quicker.
I'm sure you can, because you go through all the lights.
I didn't go through a single light. I stopped at every single light.
Well, you, Carlton, you're a very good bicyclist, that's all I can say.
Can you understand why drivers get narked with cyclists, why they get rattled by them?
Of course, but there are an enormous amount of cyclists coming onto the streets. That's just a given. Cycling is going through a boom time, because not just because of Bradley Wiggins, but just because it's quicker, it's healthier, it's better for the planet. There are an enormous amount of reasons why cycling is just booming at the moment.
Well, you see, you're giving out exhaust fumes all the time, and in your car as well.
No, I know. I
Christopher has a bicycle.
No, I don't have a bicycle.
Christopher has a tricycle.
Tricycle, because I can't balance on a bicycle, so I've got a lovely tricycle with a big basket on the back. Now, I do feel as I'm a bit of an automobile when I'm driving, because, you know, at least I'm big.
Right, yes. Nobody's going to argue with that, then.
So we are all motorists, we're all cyclists. So even Christopher has got a pedal thing.
Yeah, but you know, this is built, hasn't it, over about the last year, this antagonism between... Why do you think it's happened? Why don't drivers like cyclists?
It's because of the increased visibility, because bicycling is booming in the UK.
So there are more of you about?
More and
it's
more
all Boris's fault. Oh, there.
Wayne, have you got a bike? Wayne?
Yes. No, I don't. But my partner has a bike, because we just moved to Kew Gardens.
Yes.
And he's driving 3 miles to work at Gloucester Road, and he swears by it. He loves it. And it's so much quicker than the traffic. And so I'm going to get one as well, but I'm getting a fold-up one so I can fit it into somebody's boots when I'm coming.
But he brought up lycra. I mean, do you have to wear lycra? Because it worries me when I see... There are some very odd lumps in very odd places, aren't there?
No, actually don't. Look at the Netherlands, where the majority of people, the majority of older people, younger people, bank managers, they're all on bicycles, they're not in Lycra. So we can normalise cycling. You don't have to be in the fancy dress.
I must say, there is one time of the year which cyclists are very welcome in London, and that's the nude cyclist race. Seriously, I was in a car once, and there were about 40 naked cyclists, which cheered me up no end. I've never seen so many wobbly breasts and things.
Fine, OK. God, what a cheek. Well, we've heard what our guests have to say, but at the end of the show, our lovely studio audience will be taking off their lycra and revealing who they think has come out on top in our daily ding-dong. But for now, Mike, thanks.
Ding-dong, yes.
Ding-dong. So, if you agree with Biggins that cyclists should stay off our roads, raise your blue paddle. Or if, like Carlton, you think they have as much right to be there as motorists, please vote yellow. Raise your paddles now. It's pretty even to me, but I think cyclists, you should be a bit nervous. I think the blues just have the edge.
I'd like a recount. What's a recount?
Carlton demands a recount.
Absolutely.
We should all respect each other. We're all motorists, we're all cyclists. Thanks to all my guests today.